For sure, man. Yeah, you guys mentioned that my channel received attention this spring is when it happened. That was when I collaborated with Nelk, the YouTubers Nelk. I'm not sure how familiar you guys or your audience are with them, but that basically came about because they hit me up at 10 p.m. We're like, hey man, I sent them some ideas. I wrote a couple bits down for them, and they gave me a call at 10 p.m. one night. We're like, hey, come by the house. We're throwing ideas around. And I obviously wouldn't have been able to capitalize on that had I lived anywhere else. And that turned into me being in a video with them, and that made me known.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad your content is picking up, and you have the kind of content that's going to keep getting more and more and more popular, because it's the kind of humor that people are starved for right now, which is just degenerate, funny, no holds barred kind of shit, and you'll get bigger and bigger and bigger until you're inevitably banned.
Canceled is what you're looking for.
It's canceled. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, it's my goal is to just do so many offensive things and piss so many people off that when somebody looks at old offensive tweets or is looking for some damning quote I made, they're just going to be so overwhelmed and frustrated that they're just going to be like, we can't cancel this guy. He just doesn't give a fuck. Like virtually everything I do is he's uncancelable. It's like it's the norm with me. My baseline is making a feminist want to pull the trigger with a pistol to her head. That's what I do every week when I put a video out.
And it's very funny.
Thank you.
I want to watch more of your shit because it's genuinely funny. I've been watching without audio the I crucified him thing, and the amount of effort you guys put into these Roman centurion costumes is admirable. You clearly just didn't stop by a Halloween store. There's accessories. There's real shit.
I was a real bullwhip in there. Yeah, for people who are curious, I think the best one to start off with is I had sex with a prostitute in Nevada, and that's like a fun one to watch. We actually went to a legal whorehouse, and I fucked one of them.
Oh, so the Bunny Ranch?
That's a good. Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah,
was it the Bunny
Nevada.
Ranch?
Yep.
Which one did you fuck? Let's find her.
Yes. Do you know her name?
Yes, we follow each other on Twitter. I think she's told me that guys have come to the ranch who have seen the video and requested her just to be Eskimo brothers with me.
Look at that. You're a job creator.
Yeah.
Yes. Economy stimulator.
What's her name?
Let me fucking... Is this a wise thing to tell everybody right now? I don't know if she cares
clearly
or not.
that's genius.
This is why I'm reluctant, because I believe she's going to college right now. She's going to get a real career, and I don't want her to get an influx of followers and messages. Rethink letting us film her because she wants to be anonymous now.
So you're telling me that a prostitute told you she was doing this so that she could go to college and have another career?
Post-grad's expensive. Come on. She's going to need that influx. Influx sounds like a sexual...
Yeah, I hate to burst your lovely naive bubble, but she's not in college at all.
Well, she's
going
to UNLV, which is... Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, it's... It was like $400, and it was a pretty uncomfortable experience. I mean, the brothel thing I wasn't into it, but I had to do it for the video content.
All right, stop me when I'm on the one you did it with. Was it Mercy Moselle, Giselle Bell, Air Force Amy, Alice Little, Mercedes, Tierra Tay, Harley Lane, Bobby Bezos, Mia Amor, Aspen North, Jenny Jade, Randy Ryder?
Is Randy Ryder a dude? I didn't see any Randy in there.
No.
Nope. And then
not anymore.
Pages of these bitches. Okay, I'm not reading all this.
Yeah. I don't want to be a piece of shit to your audience. I think her name was... Damn, I'm afraid to give out the Twitter handle. I don't know why. I'm afraid she's going to have second thoughts and privacy complaints the video, and I'm going to have to blur her face, which would suck because I treasure that video.
If there's one thing to know about our fan base, they're always well behaved.
Yeah,
they're always cool.
They're good Christian boys.
Oh, yeah.
Good Christian boys. And they
if you watch my video,
Andy Jane.
If you watch the video where I do it, you can see me interviewing her up until 2 minutes before my penis goes in her vagina. So you can see her face clearly in a well-lit scenario. You can always just do that.
I need to find that video, and I'm going to do a...
Well, it's okay. I'm sure that our fans won't watch that video and list who she really is on the subreddit.
You've already given enough info that they're going to find it within 3 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, a quarter million people have seen the video, and she agreed to it. So I don't know why I'm being so bashful about it.
They'll do shit like Woody will say, I was at fucking the grocery store the other day, and they'll be like, all right, I've triangulated the grocery store he probably was at. This is the Fresh Time or Salsa Fresh or whatever it is that he was at. Yeah, they're respectable individuals. I love them all.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys get do you guys run into fans in the street? Because you are in these smaller cities. Is that something that happens to you when you're out and about?
I'm in Atlanta.
It's happened a handful of times ever.
Yeah. A handful. Yeah, I don't think I get out all that much. You know?
Same with me. It's the only time I get recognized is when I'm out on a film shoot, basically, because we're at Venice Beach or in Las Vegas. Usually I just never leave my house, so I don't even think about it.
Yeah, I might happen a little more often if I consistently went to like places with populations.
Yeah, and if you go to a place that's more your demographic, that'll definitely happen more. You know, maybe if I'm out all day at the mall or something, it's probably going to happen.
Yeah,
but that's because I've done so much stuff with the like me on camera rather than this, which is like a big percentage of our listeners do audio only.
Every once in a while, like I'll have some clothing that says Woody's gamer tag on it, which is my channel name, and I'll get recognized, and it's like, wow, like, what? Can you believe that happened? And then I realize, like, oh, I've freaking branded myself like that.
Oh,
that's cheating.
My favorite is like I've seen people before wearing like my t-shirts and like just walk up to them and just be like, nice t-shirt, and keep moving.
That's a good move.
I've done that. I've done that before, and that's really funny. That's, or at least to me anyway. I like doing that a lot.
Yeah, that guy gave me $6.
What's your when you guys look at your demographics, what's your target, or what's your main 2 age groups that you guys have catered to?
I haven't looked at
18
ages.
to 25 is the big one. It's got to be. You know, it's
like 98% guys.
Yeah, it's young edgelords, and there's like 3 women.
Me too. Same thing. Identical. Yeah,
it's for sure.
It's 18 to 25, then 25 to 34, the 2 overwhelming majority men, and then some. And dude, because I'm on Instagram though, I get so many just mouth breathing 14-year-olds leaving comments that it feels like they're a much bigger demographic than they actually are. But I'm the same as you guys, mostly 20s, 30s.
Yeah, and there are certainly outliers. I mean, we would do these paintball events in years past where we'd get to meet our fans, and I really like that. I like getting to see the people and interact with them too, because like I just sort of lump them all into one thing. Like, they're 18 to 25-year-old edgelords, you know. And that might be the majority of them. But if you're out there hearing that, like, hey, that's not me. I know it's not you. You know, there's plenty of people who are outliers who are like well-adjusted, socially competent, good-looking, successful, smart, witty, funny guys, and we will meet those.
You might be able to lure them into bed too if you play your cards right.
I mean, if I keep complimenting this way, it's a no-brainer. It's going to happen. But you know, we'd go to those events and we would meet a very mixed bag of individuals. There would be girls occasionally. There was a guy who clearly had some sort of mental illness, who was wrapping himself in duct tape and sitting in the hot sun all day.
As soon as you said mental, I'm like, I know where this is headed, and I know the guy.
And look, look, if that guy's listening, I apologize. I don't mean that you're like a psychopath. I just mean that you were a little different. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a good thing. You're a unique fella. And I appreciated that you took all of those cups from your mother's workplace and gave them out to us randomly. I still have one of them in my kitchen today. And I think of you every time I look at it. And I think of you wearing that duct tape vest that you fashioned yourself, and how you sat in the hot sun for hours just to have a little conversation with us. And you would have definitely heat stroked out and died if I hadn't come to your rescue with that Gatorade. So, you know, I appreciated you. But there's also some like normal dudes who it's like, oh man, you're a fan of us because you seem normal.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And there's older people, you know, like I think I had that experience with like people who just watched me in the past. Like there would be like ladies in their 50s who like were really into what I did, you know, and would follow me on Twitter, and I would always recognize, like they would always reply. There was this one lady who was like 48 years old from Texas, who was like definitely good looking about 15 years ago. And every time I tweeted still fuckable. And every time I tweeted anything, she's replying, "Oh, that's real nice, sugar. Oh, that's real nice, sweetheart." Like you can always like I can always tell. Sometimes it's hard to tell when a lady likes you or not, because they're not as like thick as we are, and they're not as out with it. But like I was at Zaxby's the other day, and this big fat sea cow of a girl like called me sweetheart 4 times in a row.
Ugh.
Yeah, right. And
this is in a semi-related topic, because one of the things I talk about with a lot of other influencers is how do you deal with the sudden influx of women pursuing you over Twitter and Instagram.
Oh yeah, and I know how to handle that.
Send cock pics first, ask questions later. That's actually what just happened with 905 Shooter and Nelk. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I just saw on Twitter. Okay, so Nelk fired their longtime cameraman, and they didn't make clear immediately what the reasons for that firing were. But now the rumor got out that he was sending masturbation videos just in mass to any girl who would follow him. He would just err on the side of jerking off on camera and sending the video. One just surfaced on Twitter of him. He's filming his face, and he just flips down to his cock, and he just starts windmilling his cock. That he said that to a girl, just face, dick. It's on Twitter now. That just broke today.
That's hilarious. They fired him?
I guess. I think he was trying to fuck all their sisters too. He was stepping over some boundaries.
Oh, such thing as a boundary.
Yeah, that's not a
boundary.
I like this guy. Can we get him on the show next? I want this cock windmilling man whore.
Well, has a sister, and he's still unconcerned.
Yeah, I'd love to have this guy on.
I feel like we get him on, we immediately share the like start DMing each of us individually the video instead of like.
Yeah,
that'd be so.
Yeah, you know that's I think that's a thing for different people. You know, it depends what you do online, whether there are a bunch of like fangirls or whatever. I think that a lot of gaming guys don't really get that. Like we all came from that background, like you know, Call of Duty stuff, Call of Duty commentaries and stuff like that. And there's just not a lot of girls that are into that.
You could say almost zero.
We should have played Left 4 Dead. Zero. That's where the bitches are.
Probably so.
All those well-adjusted bitches.
You know, I mean, I've had some female fans throughout the years, of course, but like, I think it really depends on what you're doing on YouTube. I'm sure there are people who just have, if you're one of those guys who has a YouTube channel that has like a 50-50 like split of females to males, it's got to be just such an incredible overflow of pussy. It's got to feel like Beatles mania.
I think the problem, because I know a guy who had an audience like that, 50-50, and the problem with that is women are so emotional and sensitive that so he got canceled. He did a video where he was grabbing girls' asses, and it was faked. But it was totally faked and staged. But still, the outrage, everybody online thought it was real.
What was his name?
His female audience. I talked about it with him on stream.
It was
Sam
something
Pepper.
Weinstein.
Oh, was it Sam Pepper?
Was it Sam Pepper?
I'm only saying that because I've talked about it with him on stream before. He's a buddy of mine. But his female audience, they're so fickle and they are so quick to turn on you. Whereas, like, I mean, my audience, I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but I could probably walk in with a fucking selfie-style iPhone roll and start grabbing asses on the pier tomorrow, and my audience would probably love it. And
if you do that, I'll give you a like.
What you want me to do? Is it that or the Prophet Muhammad? Which one do you guys want me to put higher?
Either one, I'm sucking your dick.
I want you to grab the asses as Muhammad.
If you don't dress up as Muhammad soon, I'm going to suck your cock, and that's a promise, not a threat.
Well, for you, Mr. President, it's done.
Yeah,